Tell your kids to sit on the floor, my dad said, at my mom's birthday that I funded. Then my mom added, we'll hand them the leftovers once your sister's kids are done. So I took my brutal revenge. Sup Reddit. So after dropping $19,000 on my mom's 65th birthday party, she told my kids they weren't good enough to sit at the family table. I, 38 male, work as a firefighter at Station 12, and I've been bankrolling my entire family for 15 years. Not because I'm generous, because I'm an idiot who thought family meant something. Started when I was 23, fresh out of the academy with my first real paycheck. Sister needed gas money. Dad's transmission died. Mom's prescription ran over. 20 bucks here, 50 there. Made me feel important. Fast forward 15 years and I'm still writing checks for rent, car payments, insurance, whatever crisis they invent that month. Never asked for payback. They made sure I felt appreciated though. At least when I was looking. My parents perfected the manipulation game early. My sister Natalie got the spotlight from birth. 4 years younger, blonde, big personality, could charm her way out of anything. She dropped out of college at 20 to marry some guy she'd known 3 months. They called it romantic. When it crashed 2 years later, they called her brave. When she moved back home with 3 kids and zero plan, they called it temporary. Temporary lasted 7 years. 7 years of me covering her rent while she figured things out. Then she got her own place and I paid deposit. First month, last month, utilities, car insurance, phone bill, and whatever random emergency showed up that week. Same playbook every time. Mom would call with that sweet, grateful voice. Troy, I don't know what we'd do without you. You're such a blessing to this family. Then she'd mention Natalie's situation. I'd ask how much. She'd lowball it. I'd send double. Natalie would text me a heart emoji, and you're the best brother ever. I liked being needed. They knew it. They weaponized it. Meanwhile, I'd call to tell them my wife Kara got promoted to office manager at the dental clinic. That's wonderful. Tell her congratulations. My daughter Maya makes honor roll. We're so proud of her. But Natalie's oldest gets a C+ on a math test, and suddenly we're throwing a cookout with balloons and cake. They said the words. They performed appreciation, but their actions told the real story. Attention flowed one direction. Money flowed another. My parents never asked if I could afford this. They assumed, because that's what Troy does. Troy handles it. Troy never complains because Troy gets thanked so nicely. Maya and Luke are 8 and 6 now. Good kids who build Lego sets and watch nature documentaries. Kara works full-time and we live lean considering my income. We drive a 12-year-old sedan and a truck with 180,000 miles. Our house needs work we keep postponing. Dying HVAC, missing shingles, rotting fence. We deal. Most of my paycheck flows straight to their bank accounts. Our kitchen looks like 1992 threw up in there. Laminate counters with burn marks, cabinets falling apart. Kara's got a folder of renovation ideas she's been saving for 5 years. Every time we build up savings, someone needs something and there goes another $3,000. At family gatherings, my parents treated my kids well enough when I was watching. Hugs, smiles, the right words. But I started noticing things. How the warmth cooled when they thought I wasn't looking. How Natalie's kids got pulled into activities while mine sat on the edges. How expensive gifts went one direction while Maya and Luke got gift cards. Kara stopped coming 3 years ago. She'd claim work, or the kids were tired. I asked her about it once and she just squeezed my hand. Said she loved me. That was Kara. She saw everything but never made me feel bad about my choices. Just stayed quiet and supportive while I figured things out at my own pace. I started paying attention after that, watching their eyes instead of their words. Noticing how conversations about Natalie's needs were always urgent, always emotional, always designed to trigger my guilt reflex. That's when I started documenting everything. Every wire transfer, every Venmo payment, every bill I paid through my accounts. Kept a spreadsheet, updated it monthly, backed it up 3 different places. Started saving texts where they said they'd pay me back, emails where they called it borrowing, voicemails promising next month. All the casual promises that never turned into actual payments. Wasn't planning anything, just covering my bases. Last month, Mom mentioned her 65th birthday coming up. She wanted something big. Waterfront venue, live music, catered food, professional photos. Natalie jumped right in talking decorations and guest lists like she was planning the Met Gala. Dad smiled and nodded. Mom looked at me with that grateful expression she'd perfected. Troy, I know this is a lot to ask, but you've always been there for us. Would you be willing to help make this happen? We'll pay you back, of course. Soon as we get Dad's bonus check. Pay me back. They'd said that before. Hundreds of times. Dad's bonus never materialized. Mom's tax refund always got eaten by unexpected expenses. Natalie's new job never quite covered what she thought it would, but I said yes. Sent Mom the venue confirmation, told her to go ahead with the caterer, paid the deposit on my credit card, because that's what family does, right? 2 days later, Mom texted asking if I could cover the full amount up front. The venue needed payment to secure the date. Total came to 10 grand. Kara was working late. I sat at the kitchen table with my laptop, looking at our savings account, the number that was supposed to be our emergency fund, our roof replacement fund, our someday we'll fix the kitchen fund. I transferred the money. 10 grand. Gone in seconds. Kara came home and found me still sitting there. She sat down across from me without saying anything. Didn't ask what was wrong. Didn't tell me I should have said no. Just sat there being present until I was ready to talk. I paid for Mom's party. The whole thing. You're a good man, Troy. Whatever happens, remember that. The party. The week before the party turned into a parade of requests. Natalie needed $500 for outfits. Dad needed $600 for tires. Mom called Friday at 6 a.m., wanting $650 for a custom cake with edible flowers and gold leaf. Each time, they promised to pay me back after the party. Each time, I documented it. Not because I was paranoid. Just keeping records like you do when you loan family money. I wrapped Mom's gift the night before. A bracelet Kara helped me pick out. Cost more than I wanted to spend, but she deserved something nice for 65. The morning of the party, I woke up at 5:30 to handle confirmations. The coordinator verified 60 people. I told her to follow Mom's seating chart exactly. Maya and Luke got dressed in their nice clothes. Luke spent 2 hours making a birthday card with marker drawings and careful first-grade handwriting. Kept asking if Grandma would like it. We arrived an hour early. The venue looked incredible. White linens, gold-rimmed plates, fresh flowers that cost more than our monthly grocery budget. Jazz quartet setting up. Everything screamed money and class. Mom and Dad swept in like celebrities. She hugged me tight and thanked me. Said everything was beautiful. Told her friends I'd handled all the arrangements. Made it sound like a casual favor instead of 19 grand. I felt good. Felt like I'd done something meaningful. Dad immediately headed for the premium refreshment service I'd paid to stock. Everything top shelf. He grabbed the most expensive option without even glancing my way. Natalie showed up with her 3 kids dressed like they were attending a royal wedding. Her oldest daughter had professionally styled hair that must have cost another 100 on top of the 500 I'd already sent. She gave me a quick wave and went straight to Mom. Didn't say thanks. Didn't acknowledge the money. Just started talking about how expensive everything looked. The room filled with chatter. Everyone complimented the venue. Mom basked in attention. When people asked who planned it, she smiled and said she'd worked with an amazing coordinator. Didn't mention my name once. Maya tugged my sleeve. Daddy, where do we sit? I guided her and Luke toward the main table. The elegant setup with name cards in fancy calligraphy. Small wrapped gift boxes at each seat, where family belonged. That's when I saw Natalie directing her 3 kids into the head table seats. The ones with the name cards and gift boxes. She was smiling. Actually smiling like this was already settled. Dad's voice cut through nearby conversations. Not at this table. The seating is already set for photos. I stood there with my hand on Luke's shoulder. Kara went pale. Maya looked up at me confused. Luke clutched his birthday card, edges getting soft from his grip. What do you mean? This is the family table. Mom appeared next to Dad, her face calm, controlled. She glanced at Maya and Luke like they were inconvenient furniture someone had moved to the wrong spot. They don't need settings here. This is for formal portraits. Natalie's kids are priority for the photos. They're more photogenic. The last part came out casual. Matter of fact, like she was commenting on the weather. My throat closed. People were watching. Conversations had stopped. I'm sorry, what? Dad looked annoyed. Impatient. Like I was being deliberately dense. Don't make this a thing. Your kids can sit in the back with the other children. They're young. They won't even notice. Natalie's kids deserve the good seats. They've been through a lot with the divorce. Mom nodded. Adjusted one of the centerpieces I'd paid for. Besides, look at them. Maya's dress is wrinkled and Luke's tie is crooked. They're not presentation ready. Natalie's kids look proper. Maya's hand slipped into mine. She'd heard that. An 8-year-old had just been told she wasn't good enough. Luke stood there with his birthday card, face crumpling. You want my children in the back, at a party I paid for. Mom's face hardened. We're paying you back. Don't be dramatic. They're greedy kids who'll eat everything anyway. I'll send you the leftovers. You can leave if you're going to stress me out. Natalie smirked. Actually smirked. Come on, Troy. My kids are older. They understand how to behave at nice events. Your kids will probably knock something over. 15 years. 15 years of being the family ATM. And this was what they thought of my children. No, Mom turned back. Her expression shifted to annoyance. Excuse me? No, my kids aren't sitting in the back. Either they sit at the family table or we're leaving. Dad's face went red. He set down the premium appetizer he'd been eating, the one from the $1,600 catering package. You're going to ruin your mother's birthday over seating? After everything we've done for you? The room went dead silent, 60 pairs of eyes watching. Everything you've done for me? I've given you over $200,000 in 15 years. I paid for this entire party, and you're telling my children they're not good enough to sit with family. Mom's voice went arctic. Lower your voice. You're embarrassing us. My friends are watching. She actually looked around at her friends, checking their reactions, caring more about her image than about the fact that she'd just insulted her grandchildren to their faces. I'm embarrassing you? You just told an 8-year-old and a 6-year-old they're not good enough, called them greedy, at their grandmother's birthday party, that I funded completely. Dad stepped closer. We're family. Family helps each other. You make good money. We needed help. That's what sons do. Help? You've taken 200 grand and never paid back a dime. Natalie stood up. Oh my God, Troy. Stop being selfish. This is Mom's day. Your kids are fine. They don't need fancy seats. They probably don't even understand what's happening. Mom nodded, gestured at the 4-tier cake I'd paid for, the one with edible flowers and gold leaf. We've sacrificed so much for you, raised you, gave you opportunities. This is the least you could do. And you're ruining everything over a seating chart. Something broke inside me. Clean. Final. We're done here. I took Maya's hand, took Luke's hand. Kara was already moving toward the exit. Dad's voice followed us. If you walk out that door, you're not welcome back. We're done supporting an ungrateful son. I stopped, turned around, looked at my father standing there in the suit I bought him, at the party I paid for, in the venue I reserved, threatening me. Supporting me? You've been bleeding me dry for 15 years. I have documentation of every dollar, every text where you promised to pay me back. You want to be done? Fine. I want my money back, all of it. Mom laughed, actually laughed, looked at her friends and rolled her eyes like I was being ridiculous. You'll never see a dime. That money was a gift. Family doesn't keep tabs. You called it loans. Every single time. You promised to pay me back. Next month. Next commission. Next tax return. I have it all saved. Dad's face twisted. You kept records? On your own family? What kind of son does that? The kind who got tired of being an ATM. Starting with the $19,000 for this party. Either we work out terms or I'm getting a lawyer. The room erupted. Gasps. Whispers. Mom's friends pulling out phones. Several of them looked shocked. This was going to be all over their social circle within hours. Mom's face contorted with rage. Her voice went shrill. Get out. Get your kids and your awful wife out of my party. You are not my son anymore. If I never see you again, it'll be too soon. She grabbed the birthday card Luke had been holding, the one he'd spent 2 hours making, crumpled it without even looking and tossed it on the floor. You're worthless. Your kids are worthless. Natalie is my real family. She appreciates what we do for her. Dad nodded, picked up the crumpled birthday card and tossed it in a nearby trash bin. You're dead to us. Your kids too. Don't call. Don't visit. You don't exist. We should have stopped after Natalie. She turned out right. Natalie was crying. Dramatic sobs. But I caught her looking at Mom, checking if she was performing correctly. How could you do this to Mom? You're a monster. After everything they've sacrificed. I looked at them. Really looked. Saw exactly who they were when the mask came off. You're right. We're done. I walked out. Kara and the kids were waiting by the car. Maya was crying. Luke was confused. Kara was holding them both. I unlocked the car and everyone climbed in. The silence was heavy. I started the engine. Luke's small voice came from the back seat. Daddy, does Grandma not like my card because I used the wrong colors? My chest tightened. Kara's eyes filled with tears. Maya reached over and held her brother's hand. I turned around and looked at my son. Your card is perfect, buddy. Grandma just made some bad choices today. That's not your fault. We drove to the ice cream place Maya loved. 47 flavors and a toppings bar. Sat there for 2 hours while the kids built ridiculous sundaes and slowly forgot the hurt. Kara reached across the table and squeezed my hand. Didn't say anything. Didn't need to. When we got home, I opened my laptop. My phone showed 23 missed calls. I ignored them all. Instead, I pulled up my documentation folder. 15 years of wire transfers, Venmo payments, bank records, text messages saying, I'll pay you back next week, emails saying, just borrowing until my check comes in, voicemails saying, I promise we'll settle up soon. All of it, documented, saved, backed up. They disowned me, called me dead to them, said they never wanted to see me or my kids again. Perfect. Now I had no reason to be nice about collecting what I was owed. The legal move. Monday morning, I called Spencer, my lawyer. Known him for 8 years through various station legal issues. Spencer, I need help collecting on debts. Family debts. Substantial amounts. I could hear him shifting in his chair. How substantial? $247,000 over 15 years. Most recent $19,000 for a party last weekend. All documented. Long silence. You're serious? They disowned me and my kids. Called me dead to them. Told me never to contact them again. After I funded their entire lifestyle for 15 years. So, yes, I'm serious. I want every dollar back and I want it legally airtight. Come in tomorrow. Bring everything you have. I spent Monday night organizing files. Bank statements going back 15 years. Every wire transfer with the memo, loan for rent, or helping out, or temporary until you get paid. Text messages where mom said, we'll pay you back as soon as possible. Emails from dad saying, just need to borrow this month's insurance payment. Voicemails from Natalie promising to pay me back from her next check. Screenshots of conversations. Transcripts of calls where I'd saved the audio. Calendar entries marking when they'd promised repayment and never delivered. It was organized. Solid. They'd spent 15 years leaving receipts against themselves. Tuesday morning, I sat in Spencer's office for 3 hours while he reviewed everything. His expression shifted from professional interest to shock to something close to anger. Troy, this is incredibly strong. Every text message is them acknowledging this is borrowed money. Every email is them promising repayment. This isn't gift giving. This is lending with a pattern of intentional default. Can we collect? We can try. Statute of limitations kills some older claims, so we focus recent. We'll focus on the last 4 years. That's $79,000 based on your documentation. The party alone is a clear debt with dozens of witnesses to their promise of repayment. And the rest? Harder to collect on older items, but we can use them to establish pattern of behavior. This shows systematic financial exploitation. If this goes to court, the judge will see what they've been doing. He leaned back in his chair. I have to ask. You're sure about this? Suing family gets ugly. They disowned me. My kids. Said we were dead to them. Over asking my children not to sit on the floor at a party I funded. So yes, I'm sure. He nodded slowly. All right. Let's draft a formal demand letter. Give them 30 days to respond with payment plan or we file suit. I'll make it clear we have documentation and witnesses. See if that motivates them. The demand letter went out Thursday. Certified mail. Certified. Return receipt required. Spencer laid it out clearly. Outstanding debt of $79,000 based on documented loans from the past 4 years. Itemized list. Supporting documentation available upon request. 30 days to respond with payment plan or legal action would commence. I knew they'd get it Saturday. Knew they'd lose their minds. Didn't care. The weekend after they got the letter, my phone blew up. Different numbers. Voicemails from all 3 of them. Dad screaming threats. Natalie crying and begging. I saved them all. Forwarded them to Spencer. The cake incident. Sunday afternoon, Mom showed up at my house. I was in the garage organizing tools when Kara knocked on the doorframe. Her face told me everything. Your mother's here. She has a cake. I walked to the front door. Mom stood on the porch holding a decorated sheet cake. Pink frosting. We love you, Maya and Luke. Written in careful cursive. Balloons and flowers piped around the edges. Her smile was warm, practiced. The same one she'd worn for 15 years while draining my bank account. Troy, sweetheart. I know things got heated at the party. I made this for the kids. Can I come in? We should talk. As a family. She tried to step forward. I blocked the doorway completely. No. The smile flickered. Don't be silly. Let me bring it inside. The kids will want to see it. Where are they? Not your concern. Troy, I'm trying to make this right. I baked this myself. Spent all morning on it. The least you can do is let me give it to my grandchildren. Maya and Luke appeared behind me. Mom's face lit up. She bent down slightly, extending the cake toward them past me. Look what Grandma made for you. Don't you want to come see? Maya pressed against my leg. Luke stayed quiet. Neither moved. Smart kids. Mom's smile tightened. She straightened up. Troy, you're being cruel, making me stand out here like a stranger. After everything I've done for you. after raising you. This is how you treat your mother? You called my kids greedy. Said they were dead to you. At a party I paid $19,000 for. So yeah, this is how I treat you. I was upset. You were causing a scene. People say things when they're emotional. You're really going to punish me forever over one bad moment? One bad moment? I laughed. Cold. That was 15 years of you showing me exactly who you are. I just finally paid attention. Her face shifted. The warmth drained out. I'm trying to apologize. I'm trying to fix this. And you're being stubborn and vindictive. You're not apologizing. You're trying to get back to normal where I fund your life and shut up about it. I made a cake from scratch for your children. That's an apology. That's a manipulation tactic. Next you'll cry. Then you'll play victim. Then you'll threaten me. I've seen this show before. The mask cracked completely. Her voice went cold. You have no right to speak to me this way. I'm your mother. You owe me respect. You owe me everything. We raised you, fed you, clothed you, gave you a home. And this is how you repay us? With lawyers and threats? I gave you $247,000. You promised to pay me back hundreds of times. Never did. Then you insulted my kids to their faces. So, yeah, I'm collecting what you owe me. All of it. That money was a gift. You gave it freely. You can't just decide it was a loan because you're mad. I pulled out my phone, scrolled to a screenshot, held it up. Text message from you, March 2019. Can you loan me $3,000 for the roof? I'll pay you back next month. Want me to keep going? I've got 400 more. Spencer's already reviewed everything. Her face contorted. Rage and panic mixing together. You're destroying this family. Your father is having chest pains. Natalie can't sleep. I can barely function. And you don't care. You're a selfish, ungrateful, vindictive son who's punishing his entire family over hurt feelings. I'm collecting a debt. Nothing personal. The coldness in my voice made her flinch. You'll never see another dime. We'll fight this. We'll tell everyone what kind of person you really are. We'll make sure the whole family knows. Your chief, your co-workers, everyone. They'll all know you're attacking your elderly parents over nothing. Kara appeared next to me with her phone. Recording. Mom's eyes went wide when she noticed. You're recording me? On my son's porch? That's illegal. I'll sue you for that too. One-party consent state. And I've got the whole thing. The fake apology. The manipulation. The threats. Keep talking if you want. Mom's face went white, then red. She shoved the cake toward me. I didn't take it. It fell. Hit the porch. Pink frosting smeared across the concrete. This is what you've done to this family. You've destroyed everything. And when we're gone, you'll have to live with that. You'll have to explain to your kids why they never knew their grandparents. Why you tore everything apart over money. They'll know their grandparents called them greedy. Told them they weren't good enough. They'll know we left because you couldn't show them basic respect. And they'll know you bled me dry for 15 years and got mad when I stopped paying. I started closing the door. Troy, wait. Talk to Spencer if you want to discuss repayment. Otherwise, see you in court. The door shut. Locked. Done. She turned and walked to her car. Slammed the door. Peeled out of the driveway. I looked down at the cake through the window. Pink frosting. Careful lettering. We love you, Maya and Luke. Sure you do. Kara was already uploading the video to cloud storage. Send it to Spencer? Yeah. Send it to Spencer. Monday morning, Spencer called me back after reviewing the video. Troy, this is textbook manipulation followed by witness intimidation and defamation threats. If she contacts your employer making false claims, we add that to the suit. Keep documenting everything. This video alone shows exactly what you've been dealing with. The settlement Tuesday, they retained a lawyer. I knew because Spencer got a call from some attorney trying to negotiate, claiming the demand letter was unreasonable, that these were gifts, not loans, that I was abusing the legal system. Spencer laughed him off the phone, told him we had documentation they couldn't dispute, told him we'd see him in court if they didn't respond appropriately. Wednesday, their lawyer called Spencer back. They wanted to settle, couldn't pay $79,000, but could do payment plans. Would I accept $10,000 down and monthly payments of $500? Spencer called me. They're negotiating. That means they know they'll lose in court. What do you want to do? I thought about Maya crying in the car. Luke's birthday card crumpled in his little hands. Kara sitting across from me at the ice cream shop, quietly holding our family together while mine fell apart. Counteroffer. $19,000 for the party paid in full within 60 days. The remaining $60,000 on a 12-month payment plan. $5,000 a month. If they miss 2 payments, the full amount becomes due immediately with interest. That's aggressive. So was telling my kids to sit on the floor for photos. Spencer drafted the settlement offer. Their lawyer balked, called it unreasonable, said they couldn't afford it. Spencer sent him the voicemails, the text messages, the documentation of their lifestyle, Dad's casino trips, Mom's shopping sprees, Natalie's designer purchases, all documented through social media and credit card records I'd been keeping. 2 calls, 3 drafts, a week of silence. Then their lawyer called back. They'd accept the terms, cutting them off. While the settlement dragged on, I started cutting them off systematically. Automatic payments first. Took about 2 hours to cancel everything. Natalie's rent deposit supplement, parents' monthly support, family phone plan, streaming services, Dad's car insurance, Mom's gym membership, meal kits. Each cancellation felt like dropping dead weight. Spencer found their rental property in public records. Small place worth about $120,000. They'd been collecting rent for 8 years while crying poverty to me. That rental income they claimed didn't exist? Yeah, they had it. They just chose not to pay me back. He added it to the settlement. Default on payments and we could place a lien on that property. Their lawyer lost it, but Spencer had documentation showing they'd lied about their finances. That's fraud. They signed. $19,000 for the party due in 60 days. Remaining $60,000 on a 12-month payment plan. Missed 2 payments, and the full amount comes due with property lien rights. I sent my extended family a PDF, party video, payment spreadsheet, years of text messages showing broken promises, added context explaining everything, 15 years of support, promises to repay, what happened at the party, them disowning me and my kids, me collecting legitimate debts. Some went quiet, some apologized. Some took their side anyway. My aunt called, said Dad had been telling everyone I went crazy and attacked them for no reason. She'd seen the video. Different story. She said she'd been wondering when I'd wake up, that they'd been using me since my first paycheck. Good for me for drawing a line. Their social circle imploded organically. Mom's book club skipped her. Her volunteer hours got reduced. People avoided her at church. Dad's buddies got distant at the hardware store. Natalie's friends saw the spreadsheet making rounds online. Comments rolled in, asking why she was mad her brother stopped funding her life. Natalie got a full-time job for the first time in her adult life. No choice. The consequences built themselves. I just existed and let their actions speak. First payment came 2 days before deadline. $19,000. No note, no call, just money. Settlement moved to payment plan phase. $5,000 monthly for 12 months. Every payment went straight to savings. We renovated the kitchen, replaced HVAC, fixed the fence, new roof shingles. All the things we'd postponed while my money flowed elsewhere. Took the kids to Colorado for a week. Nice cabin. Hiking. Let Maya and Luke be kids without being overlooked. They thrived. Monthly payments continued like clockwork. Silent. Resentful. Consistent. Dad's visit. 6 months in, Dad showed up at my station. Got past the front desk claiming he had documents to deliver. I came out to the lobby. He looked rough, unshaven, tired, aged 5 years and 6 months. We need to talk. No, we don't. 5 minutes, please. I checked my watch. 2. He stood. Said the payments were killing them. Asked to renegotiate. Extend the timeline. No. You're destroying everything over one comment. One comment that showed me who you are, who you've always been. You didn't apologize. You disowned me. Called me and my kids dead to you. Said never contact you again. Remember? You chose this. We were angry. People say things when they're angry. And I took you at your word. You said we were done. We're done. Except for the money you owe me. His face hardened. When we've paid this off, you'll never hear from us again. Good. That's exactly what I want. You'll regret this. When we're gone, you'll regret not making peace. Your 2 minutes are up. Leave or I'm calling security. He left. That was the last time I saw him. Payments continued. Month 12 came. Final $5,000. Right on time. I called Spencer, had him send formal acknowledgement of debt satisfaction. Certified letter confirming all obligations fulfilled. No further contact necessary or desired. Return receipt came 3 days later. They'd received it. Done. The begging visit, 8 months in. Deep into the payment plan. I was in the garage organizing tools when Kara came out looking uncomfortable. Your mom and sister are here. I didn't stop what I was doing. Tell them to leave. I did. They're crying, asking to talk to you for 5 minutes. I put down the wrench, wiped my hands on a rag, walked inside. Mom and Natalie were standing in my living room, looking like hell. Mom's makeup was smeared. Natalie's eyes were red and puffy, hair disheveled, clothes wrinkled like they'd been sitting in a car working up the nerve to knock. Both of them started talking at once when they saw me. I held up one hand. You've got 3 minutes. Clock's ticking. Mom went first. Words tumbling out fast and desperate. Said the payments were destroying them financially. That they couldn't afford basic things anymore. That she'd had to cancel her medication delivery service and was rationing pills. That Dad's blood pressure was through the roof from stress. That they'd stopped going out to eat. That they'd canceled their vacation plans. That Natalie was barely feeding her kids. We're family, Troy, please. We made mistakes, but we're drowning. Can't you show some compassion? I leaned against the doorframe, arms crossed, face blank. Compassion? Like the compassion you showed my kids when you told them they weren't good enough to sit at the table? That kind? Mom flinched. Natalie jumped in, started crying harder, said she was sorry, that she'd been defensive and scared, that she never meant to hurt anyone, that losing me and the financial support had made her realize how much she'd taken me for granted, that she'd gotten a job, that she was working 40 hours a week for the first time in her life, that she was trying, that her kids were asking why Uncle Troy didn't love them anymore. Please, Troy, I'm begging you, just reduce the payments. Give us more time. Something. Anything. I'll sign whatever you want. I'll apologize however you want. Just help us. I checked my watch. Didn't say anything. Let the silence stretch. Where's Dad? Since this is a begging party. Mom's face tightened. He refused to come. That begging you would be humiliating. Huh. At least he's consistent. I looked at both of them. You have 90 seconds left. Mom started panicking, talking faster, voice getting higher and more frantic. Said she didn't agree with Dad, that she wanted her son back, that she'd been a bad mother, but she wanted to fix it, that she missed me, that she missed the kids, that she was willing to apologize publicly if that's what it took, that she'd tell everyone she was wrong, that she'd make it right somehow. Natalie nodded frantically, agreed with everything Mom said, promised she'd changed, that she understood now, that she'd been selfish her whole life, that she saw it clearly, that she'd do anything to make this right, that she'd pay me back double if I just gave her time, that she needed her brother. I can't do this without you, Troy. None of us can. Please, I'm literally begging you on my knees if that's what you need. She actually started to kneel. I held up my hand. Don't. You'll just embarrass yourself more. I waited until they finished. Let the silence sit for several long seconds. Watched them both trembling. Desperate. Pathetic. You done? They nodded. Good. Here's what's happening. You signed a settlement. You're making payments. That's the only relationship we have. You don't get to renegotiate because it's hard. You don't get to cry and beg when consequences show up. Dad's right about one thing. You begging me is humiliating. But not for me. For you. Mom's face crumpled. Troy, please. Time's up. Leave my house. We're family. No. We're creditor and debtor. That's it. Now leave before I call the cops for trespassing. Natalie tried one more time. Voice breaking. What about the kids? Don't you want them to know their grandmother? Their aunt? Don't you want Maya and Luke to have family? I laughed. Actually laughed. Cold and sharp. My kids know their grandmother told them they weren't good enough. My kids know their aunt spent their entire lives treating them like background noise while her kids got everything. My kids are better off without toxic people who only want them around when it's convenient. Now get out. Mom started sobbing. Full breakdown. Natalie grabbed her arm and pulled her toward the door. Mom kept looking back over her shoulder, reaching out. Natalie was crying too, but she kept pulling. Got Mom to the door, to the car. They sat there for a minute before driving away, probably hoping I'd come out. Changed my mind. I didn't. Kara came out of the kitchen after they drove away. You okay? Yeah, fine. I went back to the garage, picked up the wrench, kept organizing tools like nothing happened. Because to me, nothing happened. Just watch two people realize the consequences don't care about your feelings. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that subscribe button. It really helps the channel and help us bring you more and better stories. Thanks.